Rwanda Television News with me, Gloria Mutesi.
With me, Ethan Tashevia as well.
Well, Ethan, it's been quite an eventful week for you.
Let's
start from there. How are you? How was your week?
I've been busy. Basketball National League closing tournament. I've been following it from when it started and where it is, and quite a successful one. Those are the things that probably we'll be talking about later on.
Absolutely.
And let's start it off with this report that we have about schools. With schools beginning to once again receive students starting on Thursday next week, preparations have continued unhindered. However, concerns have been raised at some schools that social distancing requirements in classroom may prove difficult to implement due to the sheer number of students. Serge Nore kicks off tonight's bulletin with that very report.
Stacked on it.
The preparations have intensified as the day the students begin to return draws nearer. 7 months after they were all sent home as the coronavirus intensified globally, and Rwandan officials decided to act quickly to try and contain the virus after it was first reported within the country's borders.
Twakoze komande y'ubupfukamunwa 4,000 buri munyeshuri azahabwa udupfukamunwa 3.
We have ordered 4,000 face masks, with each student receiving 3 that have numbers and the school's logo on them so that they don't get mixed up with those of other students and they end up sharing. We have also bought 3 thermometers to measure their temperatures and 50 face masks for the teachers that include a plastic face shield as well. Plus, we have increased the number of projectors and labs so as to reduce the amount of time students spend in classrooms and promote the use of technology. Concerns have, however, been raised at some schools that social distancing requirements in classrooms may prove difficult to implement due to the sheer number of students. With November comes the start of lessons, and top education government officials have urged school officials to put maximum effort in protecting their students from the pandemic because its threat is still very real, and the return of all students will be in phases in order to cautiously assess the situation as time passes. With 22,000 classrooms being built across the country to address the problem of overcrowding, confidence has been expressed that this issue will be resolved, and nursery as well as primary school students from P1 to P3 are yet to have their academic calendars even made public.
Thank you, Serge. Now, some victims of polio are grateful to the Rwandan government for its efforts to prevent the spread of the disease and urge parents to take part in the immunization programs because polio can kill or disable someone permanently. At the age of 3, Hategekimana Paul contracted polio, a disease that has left him disabled for 55 years now.
I
got a high fever and I went to hospital and I was admitted. Towards recovery, my leg became paralyzed and up to now it's not functional, which stemmed from polio. And as I told you, I was born in 1963 when we didn't have vaccinations. It robbed me of my childhood. I didn't play like other children or stand or walk. And yet I was at that stage where I'd started walking. I would just crawl and stand with support of other objects. Hategekimana Paul is a laboratory technician and uses crutches to support him with movement. Vaccination to newborn babies is the only way to prevent them from getting polio. Claire Mukanganizi got polio when she was 1.5 years and is now happy about the steps and the progress that have been made in eradicating polio.
Urabona ko mu Rwanda bashyizemo imbaraga nyinshi cyane.
Rwanda has put in a lot of efforts and vaccines are available. I urge parents to vaccinate their children on a timely manner. When you've gone to hospital and they give you an appointment of when to come back, they shouldn't change anything because these vaccines protect them from disabilities. According to a study by Handicap International, in the last 20 years, out of 30,000 people who were found to be disabled, 6,000 of them had been diagnosed with polio and account for 20% of people with disabilities in Rwanda. Dr. Jose Nyamusore, the Division Manager of Epidemic Surveillance and Response within the Rwanda Biomedical Center, says the last person found to have polio in Rwanda was diagnosed 27 years ago. He says that even so, prevention measures are still in place because polio still affects people across the world.
Kuvuga yuko niba araho imbase kigaragara ku isi natwe mu Rwanda ntabwo tumanura amaboko ngo tuheruka kera.
Because polio is still evident elsewhere across the world, we also can't be complacent as Rwanda because it might take us by surprise. That's why we follow up every day with health counselors in various villages and health center workers examining children that have telltale signs of disability to rule out any possibilities of polio. October 24th is World Polio Day, with this year's theme being "A win against polio is a win for global health." Now, according to official statistics, 17,849 underage girls were impregnated in 2016. The number slightly eased to 17,337 in 2017 before jumping to 19,832 in 2018. From January to August last year, teen pregnancies increased to 15,696, which translates to an average of 1,962 per month. Based on this, an estimated 23,544 children were born to teen mothers in 2019, and broken down by leading districts in 2018, Nyagatare registered 1,465 teen pregnancies, Gatsibo 1,452, Gasabo 1,064, and Chirehe 1,055. We spoke to the Rwanda Investigation Bureau about this and more. Cases of defilement and teenage pregnancies are on the rise in the country, and it is while the Rwanda Investigation Bureau yesterday started an operation to arrest the suspects. And in studio with me, I am joined by the acting RIB spokesperson, Dr. Thierry Murangira. Thank you very much for joining us, Doctor.
Thank you.
So we understand that this operation started yesterday, and it started, of course, in partnerships with other authorities in Rusizi district. What prompted this operation, and what was the outcome?
Yeah, what prompted this operation, it is our routine activities of fighting criminals, where yesterday on 23rd this month, we have conducted an operation and with the support with other security organ and local authorities, wherein 11 suspect has been arrested to have suspect to have committed child defilement, wherein the suspect ranges, their age is between 19 and 36, while the victim age is between 15 and 17. And this operation is going to be extended, of course, countrywide. There's no specific reason that we have started Kamembe, but it is in our routine activities. As I said, it will be conducted from Rusizi to other corner of the countries.
Could you maybe please expand on how these suspects were arrested?
Yeah, as I said, it will. We first collect informations. And after collecting information, of course, with the help of local authorities and security organs, then after collecting information, then it has been followed by this operation.
And how will these suspects be punished?
Yeah, the suspect will be punished once they punished between 20 and 25 years. Specifically for this one who was living as husband and wife, the punishment it is increasing up to life imprisonment. Yes.
By husband and wife, you mean a man that has taken in a minor?
A minor. When we say a child, we mean everyone who is under 18. Everyone who is under 18 is a minor, is a child. That one, by the law, is a child. He cannot, he or she cannot live with someone who is mature, who is above 18, as husband and wife.
And let's talk about the role of parents and local leaders in preventing such actions. What do you think? What are your recommendations about this?
Yeah, the role of parents, let me start by the role of parents. The parents have to take an active role in terms of fighting this child development. As I can take an example, like this example where one of the victim here was just living as wife and husband. So this shows that some of the parents of the victim did not lodge the complaint to RIB against this act. It means, like, I don't know if they don't know that is an offense or a crime, but they could have taken an active step toward just revealing what is going on. And their role has to be active in the sense that they cannot just sit and watch their kids being abused in this way. In terms of the role of local authorities, they have to take an active role. They have to show their responsibility. They should not close their eyes of what is going on. So they should not. They have to show their responsibility as local leaders to prevent this by revealing, by informing security organ, by informing RIB about what is going on. Because as per the experience, all of them, all these children who are victims, they were living in the community.
Absolutely.
So what means this crime is happening in our community. So we should, all of us, take an active role to fighting it.
And speaking of community, we've had cases where some families choose to reconcile with the family of the suspect, and then everything is swept under the rug, and of course sometimes with the help of local authorities. What do you have to say about that? What I have to
say about reconciling the family of the suspect and the family of the victim, this is also an offense. It's like the person who is reconciling them, he's taking part on that offense. So they should not, because this offense, you cannot reconcile this offense. It is not accepted. So what we have to say, the local authority should not try to reconcile or to hide or to take it as something which is minor. They have to see how bad it is, its impact, its effect on the future of this country.
Absolutely. And what's maybe the general message to the community in regards to this?
The general message to the community is that this offense is happening in our society. Everyone should play his role, an active role, by informing readers, by calling RIB, we should not keep quiet as if this fighting child development is meant for some specific people. So we should bear the burden. The whole community of Rwanda should bear the burden and feel how bad it is, and we fight it all together. And we are sure that if all of us, all Rwandan community, stands against this child development, we end it.
Absolutely. Acting RIB spokesperson, Dr. Thierry Murangira, thank you so much.
Thank you. Brilliant over there, Gloria. Good conversation you had with this.
Yeah, these are such grim numbers actually, and they are alarming. But hopefully the people that are responsible will be held to account.
It is.
Yeah.
Moving on, Rwandan historians have noted that the hill of Kigali has great potential when it comes to tourism, having served as Rwanda's capital since as far as 14th century. The hill also has great cultural significance for Rwandans.
Before Rwanda was colonized,
Buddha.
it was a kingdom, and 92-year-old Degracias Ngunga once served as a local chief during the reign of King Mutara Rudahigwa. He confirmed to us that many of the things that reminded people of the monarchs were destroyed during the First and Second Republics. The signs existed, trees planted by the kings, but people like Kayibanda and Habyarimana erased most of them, utterly destroying them. Historians like Marie-Rose Mukarutabana have noted on the importance of preserving a country's cultural heritage, especially for future generations. And the hill of Kigali, known as Mochigari, has retained cultural relics despite past efforts by corrupt leaders to erase them. And officials and the Institute of National Museums of Rwanda have given reassurances that efforts to preserve them on Mochigari and elsewhere in the city and beyond, in collaboration with other authorities, have continued. Cultural tourism is also being sought as a way of encouraging local residents to preserve such relics because of the financial gain from doing so, as well as the environmental benefits of making sure that old trees planted hundreds of years ago continue to survive. Research carried out by the Institute of National Museums of Rwanda back in 2017 found 145 heritage sites across the country, 19 in Kigali, 24 in the northern province, 31 in the east, and another 31 in the south, as well as 40 in the west. Efforts to find more have continued.
Let's go to sports. You know what has been trending in this country. It's Basketball National League closing tournament. And then Patriots Basketball Club defeated bitter rivals Reg Basketball Club by 76-61 points respectively to clinch the 2019-2020 Basketball National League title. This Basketball National League men's final game was attended by President Paul Kagame, who was accompanied by the Sports Minister Aurore Mimosa Munyangaju as well as Ferwaba President Desire Mugwiza. Today's victory means the Patriots are the winners of Basketball National Championship for the third year running, 2018, 2019, and 2020, and the fourth title in total, including the one they won in 2016. The victory gives Patriots yet another ticket to represent Rwanda in the Basketball Africa League tournaments.
And of course, the Hoops Rwanda have also clinched their historic first title of the BK's Women's Basketball League following their stunning win over IPRC Huye in this year's final at Kigali Arena on Saturday. After trailing IPRC Huye in the first three quarters, Moise Mutokambali's side fought back to win the tightly contested game 68-63.
You can see the images there, right there. Quite an eventful week we've had. And who else to tell us about it other than the starman himself, Kenneth Gasana Herbert. Thank you so much for joining us here on RwandaTV.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
By far, you've been the best scorer in this tournament, I guess. They did not award the MVP as we used because we are under unusual circumstances. But you surely had a great season.
Yes.
How are you?
A little bit tired.
Yeah,
it's been a long.
Snatched you from your hotel.
Yeah.
Tell us how this tournament went for you. Tell us about the league for you. I think is this the first league you've played in Rwanda?
Yes. So I mean, it was a little bit of a strange time, like you said, because everyone was in the hotel and we're going directly to games to the hotel. But I just want to say thank you to all the parties involved, the federation, the men's league. They really did a great job at making sure we had all the accommodations and protocols in place, and it just went really well.
You're qualifying, Patriot. You're qualifying for the next BAL. I hope this one will proceed uninterrupted, like the one we are still about to finish. What does this mean for you as Gasana, but for your team as well, Patriot?
For the team, I mean, it's been something we've been pushing for since last season when everything was stopped. I know just for the East Africa region that is going to be a big deal because we're going to have the games here in Kigali. So we just want to make everyone proud, play to the best of our abilities. And for me, it's an honor as well to play. I'm just happy that we could, bring some spotlight to basketball for a little while.
How would you describe basketball in this country?
I feel like it's on the way up. Like it's looking real positive. There's a lot of young players. There's a lot of people that are taking interest into it, especially with the Basketball Africa League now. So we can reach across many countries and different places outside of only Africa, but like US and Europe can see what we have here.
Talking about going the way up, you surely are going the way up of your career as well. I don't know how long you're going to stay on the top of your of this being the best that you are. You've been the best for quite some time. What is the secret to doing that?
No shortcuts. Every day, make the same preparations, never take days off, and just stay focused. That's all you can do.
People, I'm sure this is not one of the few interviews you've conducted. Tell us about yourself. Who is Kenneth Gasana?
Just a hard worker, a guy that loves to play basketball, a great teammate, great family man, and I just try to keep it as simple as possible. I don't do too much and and just focus on basketball.
There are quite a number of tournaments that are coming up. African qualifiers. There are also BAL that is coming up. What should we expect as basketball lovers in this country?
You're going to see a lot of great talent coming, especially with the qualifiers. There'll be some countries with some big, strong teams, and we'll get a chance to see them. I'm excited for the Rwanda team, and then for the ball. It's the first year that they're going to have it, so I think it's going to be a lot of good things coming with that, as far as just bringing new basketball spirit to the country.
How long should we expect to see Gasana doing what he's doing in basketball? I mean, you're not really young, but would appreciate knowing how long you're going to.
Hopefully until I can not walk anymore.
Do you have any question for? Because I mean, you've been watching. Yeah?
Well, I guess like he says that you're one of the best, and I think I watched some of the games and they were incredible. But I'm sure there are also very many young people that look up to you and say, I want to be like that, or even perhaps beyond that. What message do you have for them?
Just stay focused. If you have a goal, whether it's basketball or engineering or anything, just make sure you're putting all your effort into it. I mean, like I said, there's no shortcuts. If it's going to take sacrifices with anything you do, so just be prepared to make the long sacrifices and follow your goals.
Sounds great.
Kenny Gasana, thank you so much for joining us here on RwandaTV News.
Thank you for having me.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Well, Kenneth Herbert Gasana there, national basketball team point guard, Patriots point guard. Is that the right place you play? Good, I got it right.
Well, thank you so much for your company. Stay well and stay safe. Have a good night and a great weekend. Until next time, I'm Gloria Mutesi. I'm
Ethan Tashobia. Please, I want to remind you, RwandaTV Motomoto is up next. We'll not be able to show you what is happening up there because we want you to tune in. Stay around, stick around. Let's keep it RwandaTV News. Bye-bye.
Enjoy your weekend. Bye for now.